Good afternoon, everybody. It's wee Paddy from across the shuck, and you're very welcome. Now, the video today, you've seen the title, it's not going to change. It's my top 5 EDC knives that do it all for under £75. So, that's a real good wide range of things that a knife has to do to get it into here. Because, I mean, we've got lots of fancy, fluffy knives that are more for opening and closing, and the fidget factor. These are just sort of down and dirty knives. There's not that much fancy about them, but they just get the job done. For me, for me. So let's go through them slowly and we'll talk a little bit about each. Not a lot, but the more interesting thing for me is I want to know what you have in your collection. So whether you're a YouTuber and you want to put up a video on this, that would be absolutely fantastic. But if not, if you're just a subscriber, please go down below and name me the 5 knives that you have in your collection that are under £75 that you believe if you went out the door with today, they would be enough to do any job that would come up. And like that's a big variety of EDCs and people's work lives that this knife has to do EDC tasks. I don't want it to chop down trees, but just EDC tasks in their full. And I'm going to start with the lower priced ones going up to the higher priced. But either one of these knives, if I went out the door with it in my pocket, would be enough to get me through any day, I know. Because most of them, well, not most of them, 3 of them I've had for years upon years. The other 2 are newer ones. And that's the nice thing. One's one I got last year and one I've just got this year are 2 exceptional knives to put in this category. So let's start it off. And I'm sure anybody who knows me, it was going to be this. This is the OG Ganzo for me. This is a full-size Ganzo. It's about 8 inches long. You've got a 3.5-inch blade. This is perfect. It has now what's known as the bar lock or the axis lock. It is a stunning knife. It's in 440C, which again is a great steel. You know, you don't have to have the big ones, but this is a great steel. Is it as long lasting as the top end? No, but this is not the point. This is a knife I'm going to take out and I'm going to be able to do anything that's thrown up to me. And 440C to me is good enough to do that. It really is. So it's got fidget factor if that's what you like. There's multiple ways of opening this up. You've got the old Spidey flick. You've got everything. To me, this is a knife that I love having in my pocket. I can fidget with it if I want to, but it's just a flipping good knife. Just, there's nothing that stands out other than the fact that I find this more comfortable in the hand than I did the Para 2. Genuinely, it's a little bit smaller in the handle and it makes the blade not look out of place. That's what I like about this compared to the Para 2. But, I mean, it is a beautiful knife that you can use all day and not worry about it. So that's number 1. Number 2 is again an older knife, but here it is. This knife has been around for donkey's years as well. It's absolutely stunning. There we go. The Ontario Rat number 1, and this one is an older one. This is in the Oz 8. You'll notice I have no pocket clip on it. This is my odd job knife, and it's a knife that I just love the feeling in the hand without the clip. This is not a fidget knife, it's a liner lock. It has a great opening mechanism. This liner lock is, listen to that is gorgeous. But that blade shape, and this is to me more a take out camping now, because it's more of I use this more for food prep. This is a great food prep knife. You've got enough belly on it that it gets down low enough and slicing. And I've been using it more for this than anything else. Because I want to keep this. I'm not going to buy any more. And that as well. I'm not going to buy any more. But if I was called upon to go out and do, my everyday tasks and hard, whatever they are, this knife can handle it. It's got the plastic handle. It's comfortable in hand. It's a full-size knife. But this is a super, super knife. If this is what you can afford, you'll not fall short with this. I mean, you can get them in D2 now. Would I recommend you get the D2 over the Aussie 8? Yes, because you'll get a little bit more longevity. You'll get quite a bit more of longevity. But Ontario done a great heat treat in their Aussie 8. I think it's a fantastic budget end knife to buy if you want a knife that will do anything for you. And all these knives can be used in for self-defense, because they're all big enough knives that you can use them for self-defense if that is something you want. It's not something I want, but it's there. I mean, there's a lot of people do carry a knife and they want it to do both. This is definitely one of those. They all are. They're all full-size knives, so they can do anything really that you want them to do. So that's the Rat one, and we have the Ganzo, and that is the Ganzo. How can I forget these numbers? It's the Ganzo G729, and they're remaking these again now with oval holes, but I highly recommend them. Now, we're going to move up a bit now, and here's this knife, the Kershaw Blur. It's another older knife, but it's one that I've never felt I need to replace. It has the assisted opening, which is fantastic. It's got a slight recurve in the blade. This is an amazing knife. It's 14C28N. I think I said that. This is a blacked out version in the OD green. Fantastic grip. If you're going out in the wet and you want to work out in the wet, this is a super knife to have with you. But again, it will do anything. It has that, if you were wanting to put the fear of God in somebody, or you're going to use it as a defensive knife, that noise is definitely, exactly what somebody has in their hand, and back off. So for that wise, it's fantastic. But just the blade shape, everything about this knife is super. I absolutely love it. And that's the thing. With a knife, when you have the knife this size, you don't have to scare the sheeple. You can just do that and give it a quick flick open, and you can open it gently. It can be as safe a knife as you want it to be. It can be as threatening a knife as you want it to be. But you're going to get enough work. And a 14C28N is a super steal for this knife. So now we're getting to two of my favourites. These are the past, if you like, but they're the past that I have now, because I'll not change. These are not going to be changed. This type of knife I love, especially these two. They're the older version. It keeps me in contact with what got me excited about locking knives when I came around, because these were the budget ones that I could afford. And they're still here. There's a reason they're still here. I've had so many knives go through my hand, but these are just hard to beat. So let's get up modern. Let's go Kubi. And this is the Kubi, I think it's the K322. This is in D2 steel. But this really has just an action that is incredible. And the fact that it looks like an Arius, which I'll never have, but that blade is just like an Arius blade, really high flat ground, down to a really, really nice edge on that. It's a slicing machine, but it's a full-size knife. You get a full grip. You don't feel you're short on anything. Whatever you wanted to put this to work as, it's fantastic. And D2 steel, robust, long-lasting. It's just a super, but it looks fantastic. For the price, it's about 50 quid to buy. It is, look at that. You don't have to do anything. It's just, you can fidget with this, definitely. Look at that. That is just amazing for 50 quid. And Kubi have a whole raft of knives that are in this category that are nice to play with, great. But I've tried to show different opening mechanisms. The first flipper knife we have, that's the Axis, that's the thumb stud. This is assisted. This is the top flipper, which is just perfect. Gives you you can do anything with this knife. I highly, highly recommend it. I think it's one of the best options out there. Absolutely super. And my last, and it is my favourite, and I haven't even done a review on it, but I can tell you this knife will last as long as this one, because listen to that. Just listen to that from a thumb stud. Look at that. It's just, it's unbelievable you can get this knife for like 70 to 75 pound over here in the UK. I'm sure it's cheaper in the States and around the world, but This knife is just, and it reminds me of my Hinder or Slippy. It's that look about it. It's a flat grind, but it is just a high flat grind that comes down to a lovely edge for working. You know, and it slices just amazingly. I love this, the micarta handle. All these are more functional handles, but this micarta on Kaiser are killing it with micarta. Lovely small deep pocket carry clip. Everything I want in an EDC knife that will do. They'll cover every range from, you know, the most menial slicing task, peeling a potato, whatever you want. You can do anything with this knife, right up to scaring somebody away from you in a bad situation. A super knife. Really well. The fit and finish, everything about all these knives, the fit and finish was fantastic out of the box. The sharpness out of the box on all these was good. But this one, oh, I mean, why pay thousands for what you can get in a? Why pay hundreds like I do for other knives? You know, why pay it when I can get this sort of action on a knife that's £75? That is just, it blows me away how good it is in the knife community at the minute that we have this range of knives that have just got stupendous action. But when you go back down to this one, this is as much a fidget knife as these two. You know, this is, I just love the sound of the Blur. I've always loved the sound of it. But as a good old-fashioned work knife, that's what this is. This is the mucky drawer knife. This is for anything that comes up at all. But I think that is a great selection of EDC picks that are under £75 that I would never need to go beyond that price nowadays to get a good full-size EDC that I'm not going to care if I damage it. I'm not going to cry too much if I lose it. And these five just cover it completely. Completely. And I don't believe I need to look for another one. So these are going to be, I've decided now, I was going to pass this off, but I've decided I'm going to keep these all now. And the only time they'll be replaced is by another knife that I think is better than them. And that's going to be hard. I'm sure you can imagine that is going to be hard to pick 5 knives that are better than any one of these for an EDC carry. Well, I think it's hard. What do you think? Let me know down below. But let me know what you're carrying. That's what I want to know is what 5 knives under 75 have you got in your collection? And you've only got 3, put 3 down, that you would use and have complete faith in. And especially these two I've had for so long that I have complete faith in them because I have used them for years. So there you go. That's my wee video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope there's any knives that you have a full review coming of this and we'll discuss it in full. But I'm covered. You know, under £75 that will do anything. I'm covered. What do you think of my covers? Let me know. So if you've liked this, give us a wee like. And if you're not a sub, get your finger on that subscribe button. It costs you nothing, but I'll be so happy to have you on the Paddy crew. Take care. Paddy's away now. Bye-bye.